it in. Doesn't even work. And if it does, he probably fixed it by now. But he pushed it in and sat in there. And he does that whenever my sister's going to work. He's sitting there with no shirt on when my sister's going to work every morning. And then he gets out and go into their halfway house. I don't know what that is across the street, really. Because they've had over 10 people come in and out the house within 3 years. Over 10 people go in and out there. And they do the same thing every time with their phones. And when I come out the house or when we do certain things, they suddenly come out the door and need to come outside and then just go back in. It's like it's a weird routine they do. I don't know what it is, but I'm definitely looking out for all of them because this home I bought is my house. Ain't none of them getting it. And I found some things in the backyard, in the grass. There's kids' toys that when I was trying to plant my garden, I'm finding toys broken to pieces, all in the dirt, buried in the dirt. And then we found a revolver that I can't even trust to give to the police that's old as hell in the dirt. I can't trust the police because the police are gang stalking too. And pretending they don't know what gang stalking is when I went to the police station. Gang stalking? What's that? So you telling me the social media, the police watching social media, they don't know that thousands of people are talking about gang stalking? All of a sudden they acting brand new in Newport News that they don't know that. If the police are watching social media, they know exactly what gang stalking is. And they're part of it. I don't trust them to give them the revolver I found in my garden. It's old as hell. Looks like it's been there for years, maybe a decade or so. And I just bought my house in 2022. I can't even trust to give it to them because they may destroy evidence. You can't even trust the freaking police. I can't believe I'm adding this to my video, but I'm glad I am. I'm glad. It's crazy out here. I'm glad I'm adding this to my video. You can't trust them with your life. You can't trust them with other people's lives. And you can't trust to tell the truth to them. You can't trust to tell them the truth. And why is that? Why is that? Because they put themselves in a situation where they harm people when you call them. And then they set up things to make it look like they're in distress or somebody did something to them. They set that up to make it look like somebody did something to them. And then they got I had to put this in this video because these people are making death threats right now. Okay? And I'm not about to play around with it. I'm not about to play around with it. And then my electric bill, like I said, the crazy part is that something happened in the house, and I was turning off I didn't turn off the main breaker, but I was turning off everything in the house with the breakers, right? And I turned them back on. And the stove is flashing 1053. That's 513 in my social security number, right? So somebody, obviously, I've always felt like somebody's breaking into my home when I'm gone. Because this gang stalking, they're not just gang stalking us when we leave and when we go in and out of our house. They're gang stalking when we're away as well. And I've always had a feeling they've been breaking into my home. I've changed my locks a lot. It doesn't matter. These people know, they all back each other. They all watch each other. If the whole community is stalking you, what are the chances that they're also getting into your home? Yeah, there's 100% chance that they're looking out for each other and they know when you're coming to the neighborhood. If they have a tracker, they know when you're going to get home. So they can break in. They've been doing a lot of things that make me feel they've broken into my home. A lot of things. And so when the clock, I never keep the clock on the stove. I never leave it on. It's always blank. It's always, I don't leave the clock on because they play around. Somebody's playing around with the digits. Okay, so I leave it off. So when I reset everything, the stove is flashing 1053. I'm like, what system does that? Usually when everything is shut off all the electricity shut off and you turn it back on, it goes to 12 o'clock or 0000, right? Or 8888, right? It said 10:53. What the hell does that mean? So I changed it, and then I turned everything off again, and I turned everything back on. And it was flashing 0000, just like it should have. So somebody went, you have to actually set the time. You actually have to set it. No, I'm sorry. It wasn't saying 000. It says 12. I reset it. That's right. My bad. It should have said 000. My bad. What am I thinking? I wanted to prove myself right, that I was sure somebody had set the time. So I put 1200. That's what I put. And then when I turned everything off and turned it back on, it said 1200. So like I said, you have to actually set the time so that when it restarts, everything comes back on. It has the time that you set on there. I tested it and it says 12 o'clock. But how is it that the first time I turned everything off and turned everything back on, it said 10:53? What clock does that? What digital clock says a specific time like that? And then when I paid my electric bill, it has the confirmation has the first four numbers and the number 23, meaning sacrifice, right? It has the first four numbers of my left neighbor's license plate. Okay? The one on my left that keeps pretending to be in the driveway and pretending to be at my house. Okay? That one with the burgundy vehicle. Okay? But then at the bottom, it says 8, and then it says 8:10:53. 10:53 is the time it says that I paid my electric bill. I'm sorry, not 10:50. It says 8. And it's 8 o'clock, 10 minutes, and 53 seconds. They made sure it said 10:53 on the exact time. If y'all don't think all this is MK Ultra controlled, y'all are mistaken. Y'all are mistaken. The confirmation matches the neighbor I'm thinking is still in electricity anyway, or somehow living there illegally. I don't know. Maybe they're not living illegally. They just act weird. It's just weird of some of the stuff they just do and don't do living in that apartment house that they're renting next door to me. I'm not trying to say anything weird, but it's just there's not that many coincidences, okay? That my stove is set at 10:53 and then my electric has the number of the people, the first four numbers of their license plate is the first four numbers of my confirmation number, and then it's 10 minutes and 53 seconds is made sure that it's on my electric bill. When you look at it, there's no coincidences. They're not sacrificing anything here. I'm putting in the video. If they're attempting to try something, I'm making sure that everybody knows it's not a mistake. And they've messed with my fire detector, my fire alarm. Every time we put new batteries, when we come home, it's starting to mess up. New batteries. Now we have a brand new battery right out the pack that is a 9-volt. Fresh out the pack. Alkaline. It hasn't beeped since I put it in there because I haven't left the house since I put it in there. And that's for a couple of days now. I haven't left the house since I put the new battery in there. But if I leave today and come back, I bet you it's going to start beeping. Because they're messing with it, trying to set up a fire, maybe. But somebody's coming into my home. They're messing with the things in my home. They messed with the time. They're messing with the fire detector, the smoke detector. And then one time we wake up, the certain things were moved around, and I don't know. I just don't know. But it's like I said, I'm putting it in this video. I may make another video about it. I think I'm going to do another video in a few minutes about some of the stuff that's happening. But I'm going to let the cards talk about it. I think something is just telling me to go ahead and talk about it. Because none of this is by accident what they're doing out here. And it's not only that neighbor. The one in front of me has a black car and a white truck, right? And his black car has almost the same numbers as their license plate next door to me. Now he parks his black car behind theirs. Right after I posted their license plate, those numbers on their license plate like a month ago, he started parking. Then he took his car and started parking behind them as well. I'm not sure what that means, but his number is almost the same as that. It has the 8 and the 3 and the 1 in it. So I don't know if if that's the date or time that they're attempting to harass or do something criminal. But I'm keeping an eye on these neighbors because they're acting kind of weird. Very suspicious activity. And it would be the license plate and then other cars would drive past me. One said, they're saying like words that are, things that are supposed to be threatening. Okay, the license plate, they have certain license plates come around me from now on this month. Just starting this month, that certain license plates come around me. And I was at Lowe's, and there was no car next to me. I parked. There was no car next to me. So when we're done with Lowe's, I come out, and there's a car next to me, and it says Cry 78. I'm like, okay, so you parked next to me. I'm born in 1978, and you put Cry 78 next to me. Make it make sense that, I mean, they're boldly thinking nobody's going to believe me, that they're indirectly threatening my life out here, and I'm minding my business. But their home is what they really want. They want my home. They want my property, my assets. And they want my brother's assets, and they want my son's asset because he owns a home as well. So they're breaking into his, they're broken into his window, his car window twice already. They've had people do this. He's being targeted. He has a nice hybrid. He has a nice vehicle. So it's kind of like this. A lot of these readings I get is from experience, and I've heard about it or seen it happen before. So I will interpret the cards the way I've already experienced things or heard about things. None of this stuff is coincidence. All of this stuff is set up, and whoever these people are, obviously my home is a target, and the ones that are hoping to get the home are definitely the people with the license plates I talked about. And it's definitely the ones to benefit, to want to stay in it, or the ones to want to steal it, or the ones close to it. Okay, don't get it twisted. It's not the person. It's not a realtor, the shark or loan shark or whatever it's called. It's anyone close to it that parks next to it. Those are the ones that really are trying to steal it. Okay, don't get it twisted. And don't get it twisted that they may have harmed someone and they've been doing this for a long time. They think it's going to keep working. They may have harmed other people in the past, and the homes that they're in may not even be rightfully theirs. And the people that they have taken it from may be in the dirt. If you get what I'm saying. Because I found a lot of toys, a lot of things that should not be in the dirt when I'm trying to garden. And this house. This house has a lot of things probably hidden in the grass, in the dirt. I'm trying to garden, and I'm trying to figure out, am I going to be eating vegetables growing from possibly dead people? Because this neighborhood, before I moved into it, was known to be ghetto. I mean, this area was known to be a place nobody wanted to move to. For years, this place was like talked about because there was nothing but crime. Who knows what could have been done before I bought this house to this grass? Like I said, I found a revolver. Who knows what they did with that? They try to hide it in the grass. I don't know. And underground tunnels and stuff like that. Who knows what they what they have under these houses. This is an area where there was crime and drugs. Who knows what's under these houses? And some people may be taken out by people coming from under the house that they've just bought. And you never hear from them, but people are pretending to be those people. Pretending that person is gone or nowhere to be seen, or gave it to them or sold it to them. Who knows what's going on? But I ain't selling. Never will I sell this house. Never will I rent it out either. Not anytime soon. Not within the next 5 to 10 years. It's my house and I'm sticking to it. And I'm putting that in the video. I am not interested in, I'm not giving it up. You can keep stalking and lurking and beating on the door, knocking on the outside, jumping the fence and knocking on the back of my house. And yeah, they've been doing that. Knocking in the back of the house, throwing things at my roof, throwing things at my yard, throwing things at my walls. Making knocking noises in my backyard, even though my fence is taller than a human, then it's about 6 feet. My fence is about 6 feet tall. Yet I have people knocking in the back of my house near my window, knocking as if they're knocking on the front door. Make it make sense. This is where I'm living. This is downtown Newport News, Virginia. In one of the 30s, the streets in one of the 30s. I'm just going to say that right now, just in case they try something. And they've been messing with the stoplights, making sure that me and my sons are always on the road. So they mess with the stoplights and make it where everybody is stopped for a long time in one place, at almost a mile behind. So when I'm doing a turn, I'm the only one on the street. When I'm driving, I'm the only one on the street, except for the gang stalkers. You can see their license plates and their vehicle color. They'll be the only ones on the street with me, 1 or 2 or 3 of them. But everybody else will be a mile away, because they have the stop signs, the stop lights, waiting for so long, so that by the time I get through, there will be nobody else on the street. So there will be no witnesses if they do try to ambush me and my children alone. Say if I'm alone, they try to ambush me. They say, I've seen my sons in their cars, and they're doing the same thing to them, where nobody else is on the street or on the road when they're driving. They make sure that they're the only ones. They station themselves to be the only ones on each intersection or each corner or on the road. I've been watching. They're cornering us to make it look like there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Trust me, that song has come through. It is not a joke. These people are crazy out here, and they're doing the bidding of some type of cult. And the police is in on it. The police officers, not all of them know about it, but majority of them are in on it, because this is too big for the police not to be in on. Whatever they're doing out here. There's about to be a tower moment. There's about to be a tower moment. I just saw the word tower. So I'm done with this reading now.